They're 40-year-olds. They're not young royals.
Well, and
they're different now. The vibe is different. The whole mood and shift.
The fall of Prince Harry has been nothing short of jaw-dropping. Once a golden royal, living with privilege, power, and unimaginable wealth, now reduced to scrambling in the shadows of Hollywood. It's the kind of scandal that makes headlines burn. From the glitz of royal palaces to the embarrassing whispers of financial ruin, Harry's story has turned into a cautionary tale. And now, oh, buckle up, because this latest chapter is a humiliation no one saw coming. Prince Harry, the same man who once stood tall and declared his financial independence, is now reportedly begging his old friend, global superstar David Beckham, for a bailout. Not just a little loan to keep the lights on, no. Harry allegedly asked Beckham for a staggering $50 million loan. Yes, you heard that right. $50 million. The same Harry who once proclaimed he didn't need the crown's money anymore. The same Harry who, alongside Meghan Markle, boasted about building an empire on their own terms. Now reduced to knocking on friends' doors, hat in hand. But here's the twist of the knife. Beckham, once one of Harry and Meghan's closest celebrity allies, didn't just decline politely, he outright refused. And that flat-out rejection, it's become the freshest stain on Harry's already battered reputation.
Go on to George, Charlotte and Louis, and they will become really, frankly, bit part players. Now, they won't like that. And that's probably what this is all about, making sure they've got a present.
And honestly, should we be surprised? Because if you've been watching closely, the cracks in Harry's finances have been widening for months. Behind the Instagram perfect life in Montecito, with sprawling mansions, glitzy parties, and private jets, something much darker has been brewing. Reports have exposed what the glossy photos won't. Revenue streams drying up, big media deals collapsing, and whispers of bankruptcy circling like vultures. Spotify axed their $20 million podcast deal, leaving Meghan and Harry scrambling. Netflix? Rumors swirl that they're ice cold on the Sussexes now, bored with underwhelming projects that simply don't deliver. Add Meghan's champagne lifestyle and Harry's refusal to downsize, and suddenly the empire they promised the world looks more like a collapsing house of cards. So when the word bankruptcy started echoing in the press, insiders, not shocked one bit.
It's a brand to monetize, because pretty soon they're going to be really so far removed from the main game that they're not going to be able to get as much money out of being royals.
I think Valentine Lowe wrote that in his book, didn't he? Or I seem to remember.
But here's where jaws really dropped. It wasn't just that Harry was in financial trouble, it was how desperate, how audacious his next move turned out to be. Instead of tightening the belt, refinancing, or making smart money moves, Harry went nuclear. He went straight to Beckham, football icon, billionaire brand, Mr. Global celebrity himself, with an outrageous plea, a personal $50 million loan. Let's pause here. $50 million is not pocket change. That's not help me cover some bills. That's bailout money. Empire-saving money, reset your entire life kind of money. For Harry to ask Beckham for that kind of astronomical figure tells you just how dire things truly are. It wasn't just desperate, it was humiliating.
Al writing about saying that Harry did have fears that he might, become irrelevant into his 50s, and they're making a huge noise at the moment.
Yeah.
But he undoubtedly will. He'll be a bald 50-year-old prince that, a gentleman, someone formerly known as.
And Beckham? Oh, he wasn't having it. Insiders say he didn't sugarcoat it. No polite excuses, no, let's revisit this later. Beckham flat out refused. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Think about it. Beckham isn't just another celebrity. He's the king of global branding, a man who turned football fame into an empire worth hundreds of millions. And once upon a time, Beckham wasn't just Harry's friend. He was seen as a bridge between the glamorous world of global stardom and the royal family. For him to slam that door in Harry's face, it wasn't just about money. It was symbolic. It screamed to the world, Harry isn't worth betting on anymore.
Prince, that's what he will be. And that will be not the same as they talk about, he's got an appeal with the younger generation. Well, they'll be thinking, who is this guy? They wouldn't even know who he is.
I think it's also trying to kind of make things a bit more positive. I've spoken.
And here's where it gets even juicier. This rejection wasn't out of nowhere. The cracks in the Harry-Beckham friendship have been there for years, waiting to explode. Remember Meghan's alleged accusation? The one where she supposedly claimed Victoria Beckham had leaked private stories to the press? That accusation lit a firestorm, and the Beckhams were furious. It left the once close friendship icy, strained, and awkward. So when Harry came crawling back with a desperate $50 million request, Beckham's refusal wasn't just financial, it was personal. It was years of mistrust and resentment finally boiling over. Beckham's no wasn't casual, it was definitive. The nail in the coffin of what was once a star-studded friendship. And the fallout? Oh, it's catastrophic, because Harry isn't just losing a loan. He's losing perception, the one thing he and Meghan have been clinging to in Hollywood.
Some journalists in America who were saying how we love a kind of boy or girl done good. And the fact that for Harry and Meghan, for a very long time, a lot of the stories have been negative and around, well, we felt badly treated by the royal family.
And here's the gut punch, because this isn't just about a loan, this is about perception. Think about it. Once upon a time, Harry was a soldier, a royal, a global rebel prince who captured the world's imagination. Now, he's being reduced to something devastating, a begging prince. Instead of being the man who carved out independence for his family, he's being painted as a desperate ex-royal scrambling to survive in a Hollywood that has already moved on. And the internet? Oh, it's merciless. Headlines calling him a fallen aristocrat, memes plastering his face with the title Harry the Borrower, analysts dubbing him Hollywood's most expensive liability. It's not just brutal, it's total annihilation of his image, because here's the truth. Lose your money, you lose power. Lose your dignity in the process, you lose everything. Harry thought Beckham's refusal might stay private, but oh no, this humiliation was never going to stay locked away.
And certainly with Meghan, look, with the twerking video and her really kind of owning her social media, I think you're seeing that kind of, right, I'm going to be more upbeat, I'm going to be positive. And we're sort of waiting for more of that, I think, from Harry.
But then, of course, they're already ahead of it.
Because let's be real, nothing in Hollywood stays secret for long. Once word of Beckham's rejection got out, it spread like wildfire. Whisper networks, boardrooms, celebrity dinner parties, and of course social media feeds, it became the defining story of Harry's collapse. And in Hollywood, reputation isn't just important, it's currency. So when the whispers started, if Beckham won't back Harry, why should anyone else? It wasn't just gossip. It became a warning label. Investors, producers, celebrity financiers, they all started murmuring the same thing. If even the golden boy Beckham won't trust him, Harry must truly be toxic. Overnight, he and Meghan went from power players to liabilities. The Sussex brand wasn't hot anymore, it was radioactive.
The game on this, the Sussexes, because they've done their branding for their two children. Mm-hmm. She's writing a diary entry every night to Archie and Lilibet. I wonder what that's for, the diary of Archie and Lilibet. I don't know, it's a nice book. But they know that they were seen.
Suddenly, the questions got sharper, louder, impossible to ignore. How does a man born into unimaginable privilege, gifted palaces, jewels, and prestige, find himself staring down bankruptcy? How does a couple who signed multi-million-dollar Netflix and Spotify deals now sit in financial rubble? The answer? Look no further than Montecito, the sprawling $14 million mansion, the endless private jet trips, the army of PR teams, lawyers, and staff. Instead of building an empire that lasted, Harry and Meghan were burning cash like a bonfire. And the more people looked, the more the story changed from bad luck to bad decisions. Even their own supporters began whispering, was the whole financial independence promise just smoke and mirrors?
Those two will be, and they've got all their branding around that, they will be something that they will be able to monetize. And unfortunately about the Sussexes, I just call them H&M, because I don't believe they should have the title, is all about the money. And of course, the reason we want...
And oh, the optics for Meghan. Disastrous. She's built her entire Hollywood game plan around being powerful, polished, and in control. A tastemaker, a cultural force, a woman who doesn't need anyone. But this saga rips that image to shreds. What's powerful about begging a former friend for $50 million? What's glamorous about being turned down flat? Years of carefully curated branding, destroyed overnight. Instead of being Hollywood royalty, Meghan and Harry are now mocked as out-of-touch celebrities who can't even manage their own affairs. And while Meghan might still strut in couture, the whispers are clear. The brand is collapsing. And for Harry, the sting cuts even deeper. Because far away in Buckingham Palace, his family, oh, they're quietly vindicated. Remember when Harry and Meghan stormed out of royal life, declaring they would make it on their own terms? That they didn't need the crown's money or approval? That they were above it all? Well, now with bankruptcy whispers, with Beckham slamming the door in Harry's face, with Hollywood calling him a liability, the royals don't even have to say a word. Harry has proven them right.
There's a lot of this, and let's not be too cynical. Yes, he wants a reconciliation with his father. His father has a finite time on this earth. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money to be distributed. And I'm sure that's a conversation that needs to be had.
So we asked, ultimately, should the king remove the Sussexes titles from Harry and Meghan? And 91.
And here's the cruel twist of fate. Harry left the monarchy to escape its financial grip, to carve his own freedom to be independent. But now, that very freedom has turned on him. Freedom is expensive, freedom is merciless. And Harry is learning that the hard way. Behind closed palace doors, can you imagine the whispers, the quiet smirks, the unspoken "we told you so"? The boy who demanded independence has been reduced to begging his celebrity friends for bailout money, and the royals didn't need to lift a finger. He did this all by himself, and that's what makes this different from every other scandal. This isn't just another bad headline, this is legacy damaging. When people look at Harry now, they don't see a rebel, a soldier, or even a philanthropist. They see a fallen man, stripped of dignity, scrambling to survive, publicly rejected by one of the world's most respected men. He's not the people's prince anymore, he's the begging duke.
Percent said absolutely.
I agree with
Wow,
that. Yeah.
that's
You agree with that,
I
Rob?
agree with it. Yeah.
Do you?
I think because I think they've disobeyed the HRH and they've flaunted that. They're now talking about, oh, I'm Meghan Sussex. Well, you're slightly, taking the mickey out of the royal family. You're not. You want it out. You wanted to be.
And in Hollywood, perception is everything. Once your name becomes synonymous with desperation, doors don't just close, they slam, they lock, and they never reopen. And Harry's begging saga with Beckham might just be the turning point where the Sussex brand stopped being controversial and simply became irrelevant. Even Netflix subscribers are piling on. Under the promos for Meghan's projects, people are commenting, maybe if your shows weren't so boring, you wouldn't need a bailout. Fans who once sympathized, they've turned. They're not angry anymore. They're mocking. And in the court of public opinion, mockery destroys faster than hate.